One's landed in the field in front of me.
Holy dooly.
So it's been a hard day. So I've just arrived at this new land permission and I'm very excited. We're going to be staying here for 2 nights now solo and hopefully catching the food that I'm going to be eating. So I've got minimal food with me, only enough to keep me going in case I don't get lucky with any quarry. So I'm very excited to be putting some skills to the test and exploring a new bit of land. There's a rabbit run already that I can see. Definitely somewhere you could put a snare. It's definitely heavy work around this terrain. It's quite hilly, but there's a patch of forest over there and I think that might be a place I can pitch a hammock. Quickly going to decant my bags here and have a little scout out up ahead. That is some welcome tinder. Lovely, lovely birch bark just peeling and ready to go. So I've taken the rifle with me and I'm just going to have a little wander and a look now to see if I can find any more spots other than that one. It's got a tiny little bay next to the water. It's looks like about the right distance. I'm just going to have a little browse in here just in case where there's some willows. Just in here is going to be absolutely perfect. There's enough room here to span my tarp and my hammock, a nice big clearing, and in front of me loads of willow and grassland, so I dare say some pigeon might roost in here later, and also some rabbit as I come back out of here through the hilly kind of moundy bit. Really excited, so I'm going to go back and get my kit now. I'm keeping the rifle on me just in case I see any rabbits or pigeon. Obviously I need to start looking for food straight away, and there's not really any plant food available at this time of year, especially around here. So I really am relying on rabbits and pigeons. So hopefully we'll start seeing some activity as I start to quieten down and get camp set up. So considering I've got here so late today and the sun's already starting to set, I don't think I'll be able to get anything with the air rifle, so I'm going to lay 2 snares tonight. There's a good run through here that I'm just going to put this snare in. Set that to the right, leave that. Now, snares are quite a good method of catching your food. Obviously, it means you don't have to be there constantly watching the area. So I can leave these 2 snares set, and hopefully there'll be something ready for me in the morning. Now, it's not guaranteed, obviously, and we can only keep our fingers crossed. But at the moment, there doesn't seem to be much activity. So I've chose to hammock camp today, and I'm using the Thornhill ultra heavy hammock. So we'll get this out first, and that will give me an idea of where my tarp needs to go. Now you can already tell the light's starting to come in, so I'm going to get this camp up set really quickly with the tarp. Then I'm going to go out onto that run where I was walking and just set up for a little while and see if any rabbits come in during dusk. Succeed. Well, that is the one thing about winter. The dark definitely comes in very, very quickly. So that's why I've brought in minimal food with me. Some supplies, I haven't gone completely no food. So we'll get a fire going now and then cook up some of that. Probably some rice and sausage tonight, which will be a nice little treat just to keep me going until the morning. We've set some snares already, so hopefully they bring something in. We'll check them right before bed and again first thing in the morning. And then we'll try and get up nice and early to see if we can get some rabbits and some pigeons coming in. Right, so we've got enough kindling now and tinder materials to get this fire going, which is going to be a big boost of morale. Like I said, we got in a little bit late today, so that definitely made things a little trickier setting up, but we'll get there. We just got a tiny bit of that birch bark that we collected earlier. Hey, there we go. There's plenty of dead wood around here, so that's absolutely perfect. I'm really grateful for that because it's made starting the fire a hell of a lot easier. And this willow is quick burning, but it's going to go up really nice and easily. So I am probably tonight going to have some of that smoked sausage and some of this savoury rice, and I'll just do that in my Tokes and 750ml like titanium little mug, which will be perfect. Dusk came in really quickly, so I just had to focus on getting camp set up and obviously getting the fire going. So looking forward to getting some grub in me, and it's going to be a really lovely evening here. It's super quiet and I've already heard some muntjac barking, so it's a shame that I don't have a bigger rifle. One of the best things about having a hammock is being able to hang everything at the end. So I've got my belt there, my fire lighting kit and my axe all hung up nicely and out of the way. As I said before, willow burns really quickly, so it's good in terms of getting a fire going nice and quick, but fire management is paramount. So I'm just going to try and keep this bed of embers going and getting larger, because that will really aid. And I'll be able to get my grill over it and start boiling some of this water. 475ml of water to a saucepan, empty the sachet in, simmer for 20 minutes. So 500ml here, 300 there, 400, so just about here will do. I think I'll eat all this rice. We'll be a hungry boy. I'm looking forward to this. Then we'll cut up some of this smoked sausage. There's not much of it, so I really do have to get food tomorrow. I tell you what, that is super comfortable, and I'm so glad the fire's going. Always a nice sign. And like I said, before bed we'll actually double check the snares that I put out earlier. Fingers crossed we may have had some luck. Let's let that cook for the next half an hour. It's bubbling alright. I'm just going to keep stirring that because I don't want it to stick to the bottom. So we'll keep that going for about 15 minutes now. So the rice definitely looks like it's coming along. I wouldn't say it's got too much longer, so I'm going to start chopping up that sausage now, and maybe I'll drop that in. So I want to ration this because in case I don't get any food, so I'm going to take about a third of that, leave a third for breakfast and a third for dinner tomorrow, just in case, and if not, I can have a really nice meal. So I'm going to chop this up into nice little slices. It's all about feeding these ends in when you're working on a fire like this. Let's see how this is going. Oh, fantastic. We are almost there. I'm going to make sure none of it's sticking on the bottom. It's just the main thing. It doesn't look like it is, which is perfect. So I'm going to put this sausage in and give that a stir through. And I'll probably take that off the heat and let that finish under its own steam and heat with the lid on. I can build up this fire from these embers into an actual little bit of flame and firelight for me to eat by. Well, that is going to be One hell of a welcome meal. You burn up a lot of energy doing all of that. Setting up camp, hiking in, setting those snares, and yeah, guys, I'm going to dig into this and switch off for tonight. Just sit back, listen to the sounds of nature, the crackle of the fire, and enjoy this food. Just what the doctor ordered. What a wonderful sleep. It was a little bit chilly in the middle of the night, but that's just the nature of hammock camping, and this hasn't got an underquilt, but it's a good and thick hammock, so yeah, it didn't take me long. I was back asleep. It was a really lovely evening actually, so I'm going to get up now, and first things first, I want to go and check the snares, but obviously before I do that, I want to get the gun ready and then just take a little stalk out and just get prepared, because it'd be nice to put a few more snares down, and also if we see any rabbits or pigeon or squirrel, there's an opportunity there to be taken. So the earlier I can get food today, the better. So let's just see what we can do. I'm all ready now to go out and check my snares that I put out yesterday, so hopefully one of those has got something, but if not, not to worry, we're going to set some more, and then obviously just have a little stake out in a few places. So I'm going to grab the rifle and we're going to stalk out and just see what we can see, set up for a little while and just observe. I think the best opportunity for me to get anything today is just to watch, see where things land or see where things come out, and be patient and take my shot. So I'll bring you along for the ride, and yeah, let's try and get some food. Important to have a drink before I go out. The rifle's all loaded, we've got 10 shots in there, and this is 0 to about 35-40 yards. So we'll take this now and let's go see what we can find. I'm going to put on my chest rig, which has got my binoculars in here. That'll just make spotting things a little bit easier. I've also got a scent bottle there to tell what way the wind's going, although it's fairly intuitive today. I can feel it on my face, so we'll get this on and then we'll get over to check those snares. I'm not going to have any food this morning, first thing, just in case I get something, but if after a while we haven't got anything, I might come back and have some smoked sausage. So there we are, everything's strapped onto my chest now. This can open up and allow me to get my binoculars out and hopefully spot some pigeon or rabbits. Let's go check these snares. I've actually got 2 more with me. Obviously we only set those 2 last night, so we'll get these done as well, and hopefully they'll bring in something for the rest of the trip.
There's snare number 1, untouched, which is unfortunate, but it's just the way the cookie crumbles. So nothing in the 2 snares, which is a bit of a shame, but we don't give up hope. It just means we have to set a few more. So I'm going to have a little walk down around this lake and see if there's any more runs where we can target one. There's a few through here. I have to be careful that deer don't frequent them as well. So we're looking for small rabbit-sized entrances, which I think we'll find. There's definitely been some fresh activity here. Whether that's badger or whether it's deer, but there's a lot of droppings here that look like rabbit droppings. This has definitely been dug up, so some good sign there. It's quite an evident run. And what we're doing is just making sure that there aren't any evident deer tracks here, which it doesn't seem to be. And the aim for me is I want to hang that as best as I can through there, so when it comes through it's nice and high. The snare's all set up there now, and hopefully that should catch me something. You can see it's an evident game trail, so I'm going to move now so as not to disturb it, and we'll go set another one. There's another prominent trail straight there. Really darkened indentation and little path. Some disturbance. And again some droppings out here. And it goes right under that fence. Again, if you look really closely, you'll be able to see the snare. Probably very hard to see on camera. You can see about there is the peg holding it up, and then the snare is actually looped under there. So no food thus far, but that's not to worry. Like I said, I've still got some smoked sausage back at camp, and I've got some noodles for later. The stomach's definitely grumbling, but let's have a little look. There's, like I said, water sources around here, so it might be a good idea for me to go and sit up by the edge of one of those and see what comes. There's another really good run, guys, very evident, but what my concern would be there is that deer. So we've had something go through this one, guys. It didn't catch it, which is unfortunate. It must have just slipped through, but look, this has been pulled and this loop is all the way up there. Very small as well, so something slipped it. I think we'll reset that and get out of the way, and that's happened since I was setting the other snares, so relatively recently. Oh, I tell you what, that is super reassuring knowing that that snare slipped. Obviously it's a shame that I didn't get the rabbit, but or whatever it was, but really good sign to see that the snare had been disturbed. Considering I'm passing camp and I haven't eaten yet today, I might just have a little snack of sausage. Give me a little bit of energy for this hunt. Hopefully we'll see something. It's very, very quiet out, but that's not unusual. We're still at the tail end of winter, so even the animals have had a hard time. It's not just us humans. the spot. There's a lot of crow activity, blackbirds, not many pigeons though, so I might take a little walk, like I said, to the water, then out to the edge of the fields. Well, typical, when they're out of season, they definitely give a shout. Well, that's the first sign of pigeon. I just heard one over to my right, so I'm going to take a little stalk over this direction and set up kind of on the edge of this hedgerow. Oh my god, a huge hare just broke out and literally ran behind the camera tripod. You could probably just hear the scuffle on the last shot. And I took aim, gone this direction, so I'm very tempted to have a little stalk in that direction, see if I can see anything. And if not, maybe just bed up in this area, because it's a very good sign. I wish the camera was pointed a tiny bit this direction. That would have been a fantastic wildlife shot. He was a big old boy. But that shows that there's definitely possibility in this land, and that's given me a real boost of confidence. I've just got to keep my eyes a little bit wider because he was bed right down on the edge of that field. Right, so I'm all gloved up and got this nice little face warmer on. It just keeps the minimal amount of skin showing, which pigeon are very, very akin to, so wish me luck. Let's see if we can find another hare. I wish you guys could have seen that, it was beautiful. If I'd had the camera with me, you would have seen it, but it ran right behind the camera. Only a few weeks late for duck. See a rabbit warren there, so I'm just going to go up the hill behind it and just observe that. The Chinese water deer just spooked out of the brambles there. I thought I could hear something, but yeah, a bit bigger than I can deal with today. I'm utilising this thermal scope from BSA, and it's proven to be really handy at just spotting any heat sources. I wish I'd got this out before the hare, so I'm going to start using this to scan all of the areas that I'm walking into from now on. There's this amazing lichen all over the floor here. I'm not going to disturb it, but this stuff is already pulled up. Incredible. And once dried, that can be a really valuable firelighter, so I'm going to take a few of these pulled up tufts that obviously the deer has been browsing on, and yeah, keep those for a future firelighting project, maybe even later today. fresh droppings there, which is really, really good. And I found the perfect run, which I'm going to put a snare on. Look at that. That is one hell of an evident run. That is the most perfect little rabbit run. I have real good faith in this one actually. So I'm going to put my own homemade snare here. So I've made a stake here with a little indent in the top. I've got some wire here with a slip snare in it that I've made just by making an eyelet, so we can use that, and the other end is going to be wound securely around this and staked down. I normally do that as well, just as a little safety measure, so it tends not to pull out, and that's ready for me to place now. Again, you can see that hole back there where it comes from, so hopefully it will come through that snare. These brambles make a natural archway, so I've put it directly in the centre, so hopefully as that goes through it should snag. So I'm just going to head back now, take a slow walk and keep my eyes out, and just go back and refill my water and just reassess a different location to stop. I might actually go back to where I saw the hare and see how we go. So I'll catch up with you guys very shortly.
Well, it's been fairly unsuccessful. Obviously that one hare that we saw, but in reality I don't think the landowner wants the hare shooting, so yeah, it's probably a good thing. Obviously the rabbits are probably going to start becoming active around dusk time, so it might just be pigeon for now to keep an eye out for, and hopefully we hopefully we come across something or hear a little bit of activity. So this is the Thornhill Ultra Heavy hammock that I'm using. It's a lovely real tree, all natural materials, wool hammock. It's extremely long and really nice and snug. And inside that I've got the Carinthia Defense 4 sleeping bag and my pillow. I've got the little splinter neck knife up there just in case. The tarp that I'm using is the Bushman 4x3 tarp, which covers perfectly the length of the hammock. And if I take this opportunity now, I can do a bit of a kit up, and you can basically see here a fair bit of what I've got with me. I've got my grill, my plates, my pellets, my cutlery, my cup, canteen, lid, pot holder and chopping board. I have my bits bag. I have tea and sugar, sorry, just in case the landowner comes by. I have some homegrown garlic, some beef ramen noodles, the rest of that smoked sausage, some lard and some cheese. And then I also have some muesli, and that's basically what I'm going to be having now, just a little bite of. So as you can see, minimal kit with me. I do have a little washing pot scrubber, a wilderness wash, and in here I have my ham radio. I am licensed in the amateur band, so that's just in case of emergency if my phone died. I have toilet tissue should I need it. I have some handmade soap in there. Then I have an extra fleecy shirt, a thermal shirt, another shirt just in case, a towel, some waterproof chaps, my Stone Creek ones, and my Hardland down jacket. And that's everything I've got with me.
I did also, of course, bring my frying pan, my small axe, and my fire lighting kit that I used last night, but a very minimal, all-rounded kit. This is the last little selection of tools that I've got with me, and the reason I brought this is just in case I needed somewhere to hang my billy can. I've got the pocket anchor by TGM, a spare ferro rod, and my tongs, and in there my folding saw as well.
So considering I've got milk, tea and sugar, just in case the landowner comes by, I thought, why not use a tiny touch of that milk for my cereal? And we'll fit some milk in there and enjoy that. Obviously, if the landowner comes by, I want to look after him the same way he's looking after me. And I guess this can act as a bit of consolation. We haven't had much luck at all today. That's the first bit of food I've had since that Polish smoked sausage. I'll tell you what, it's very much appreciated.
So I've just spoken to the landowner, and I know the adjacent farm to this. What I'm going to do is walk over towards that farm through the woodland owned by this landowner, which is a bit of a hike away. I've got a good amount of time until it's dark, so I'm going to take a walk over there with the camera and the rifle and see if we can find any pigeon, obviously any rabbits. On the way back, I might try and bring a lump of hardwood with me. That will keep me going a little bit longer tonight with the fire. So I think we've got a multi-purpose trip, and I've got a satchel in my hunting bag, a Brown's Bushcraft one. So what I'll do is I'll collect any hardwood in that and then be able to go. So this is the patch of woodland that we're looking at right now. Basically a nice field walk along the edge of that boundary to get there, so we should have some luck at hopefully seeing a few bits. That bit of muesli was just right. In fact, that's what it's called, just right. Oh man. Definitely on the right track. Unfortunately, I just spooked a few wood pigeon. You just wouldn't have known they were there, bed up in the grass. They were just over a brow of a hill, so I couldn't see. But again, like I said, a good sign.
One's landed in the field in front of me, probably about 100 yards. So I'm going to try and sneak up and get a shot, because that's going to be the first proper opportunity I've had So fingers crossed we don't spook it. The problem is it's very open ground here. If only I had a proper rifle. I just saw a squirrel jump into a tree, so I'm going to try and scout and see, obviously, if I can keep him pinned down. So it's been a hard day. Seen a fair bit of opportunity, but not really for air rifle. So I'm just sat here for a little bit. I'm just gonna have a little break and see if anything comes in front of me. There's a big old lake, so I'll just see if anything comes in before the end of the kind of light hours. Probably got about an hour and a half now till dark. Well, that was successful in the sense that we saw some stuff, but without a shotgun, it just wouldn't have been possible, and obviously without a rifle for the deer. But that is just the way it is. Airgun hunting is notoriously more difficult for that exact reason. You're limited to your options, and yeah, even on birds, you're using it as a rifle. So I'm going to just decant a few bits and then go off and check the snares, just give them a once over, give them a little walk past, and then come back and get the firewood collection started. Whew. Takes it out of you doing all of that work on low calories for sure. But this snare didn't spring, so I'm actually just going to move this one because I don't feel too confident about it. It looks like it's quite an old run, so now I'll move this for tonight, and hopefully that gives me one better opportunity. You would not believe it. Something has slipped this one again. Just pulled that peg through. It's got to this part, it's slipped it. You would not believe that. That gives me a bit of hope for this. That is what you call bad luck, but also a good sign. So yeah, let's hope the other 3 have got something. I have a good feeling about those, and I think more so the right hand one, but I'm just going to double check. There's a fresh dropping on this one. Well, there's the 4th and final one, or 5th and final one, sorry. Nothing in it.
Well, that was unsuccessful, but still good to see one of the snares slipped. Does give you hope. What I'm going to do is drop the camera tripod back and just put the camera in my pocket. And I'm going to go and just set up until basically just before dark. And yeah, basically just hope to get something and also collect some firewood. So I've been filling my bag as I've been walking around. I've sawn a few bits, a few bigger logs, and I'll hopefully find some proper hardwood to fill it up.
Well, the hunter goes back empty-handed for now. It's been an absolutely thoroughly enjoyable experience though, and I've loved having the freedom to be able to do this. Sun is just setting behind me. Look at that. You literally cannot beat being out, and despite not getting anything, I've seen and heard so much activity. The ground is quite hilly here, and you're always walking up on the top of the hill with steep banks full of brambles to the sides. You can always hear the rabbits scrambling around. And even when you sit up for a while, you kind of stay on the bank edges and don't come up to the top. So yeah, but let's see if these snares get anything. If I had my time again, I'd have put my snares in a different place. So yeah, we'll just have to see now.
It's time I start building preparation for the fire. I've obviously got this hardwood that I collected earlier. It's not a load, but it's something. And I'm going to just go through and collect as much deadwood as I can in the last 10-15 minutes of light. Oh, it may not look like a lot, but that's quite a good amount of timber, considering I've got the other logs in my bag. That should keep me going for quite some time, to be honest. At least tonight, so I'm really happy about that. That was about 10 or 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes of hard work sawing and lugging them back through. It was just getting too dark to film, but just used a silky gomboy, which I probably will be replacing to go back to a Laplander, just because it has the kerf blade, so I think it would just be easier, especially on my shoulder that I had surgery on. It fatigues very easily. But I'm going to start bucking some of this up with the saw here and getting the fire going. I'm going to utilise the fire very quickly to start boiling some water, because tonight I'm literally just going to have boiled noodles and a little bit of sausage chopped in to leave myself a chunk for the morning. Holy dooly. I mean, if I was starving, no I wouldn't. That's incredible. Look at that guy. He's massive. Look at him next to a silky for comparison. Good size. Great crested neck. They're protected as well. And this land is due to be built on, I believe. Hey, there it is. Absolute proof. I'm going to let him go on his way, but that's an incredible find. Really, really rare. Just using this fat wood. And with that, I can light some birch bark to then light my little pile. There we go. Get the water boiling, just like yesterday. Then once that's boiling, I'll put the noodles in for about 3 or 4 minutes and we'll be ready to eat, so it'll be a little bit quicker.
I can't say it's not disappointing to have not got anything to eat today, but it's just the way it goes. It really is the luck of the draw. And there was a few opportunities where I saw the tail end of rabbits disappear into brambles, and even after sitting there for 45 minutes, nothing came of it. So it really is just a game of patience, and that's where things like the snares hopefully will pay their due. But we'll see. Again, those can be a bit of luck as well. So we'll just have to go with the flow, which is what this trip has all been about. That's why I've brought in some small kind of minimal food things. I've had hardly any calories in reality, and it would have been so much harder if I had no food. So massive respect to people who've done that before. Obviously one thing I could have taken advantage of would have been fishing, but actually I'm not sure if these lakes are stocked, although I'm sure there's some things in there, so that might be a little adventure to have in the future and see what possibilities are there. But like I said earlier, in hindsight there's a few places that I saw rabbits earlier today that I could have put some snares, but it's always good to leave the ones I have done just to see how those fare as well, because they'd only had a daytime, and really rabbits are quite a nighttime / early morning animal, so hopefully they'll do what they're meant to do and we'll just be able to cook up a nice snack tomorrow. And if not, it's just been a learning curve like everything, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it so far. I'm excited. Once this gets boiled, it's not going to be too long, which is really nice, because yesterday it was about 20 minutes after boiling for the food, and it is a little bit later today. So yeah, really looking forward to this. It's not going to be much, but it's going to definitely make a massive difference.
So I'm going to leave a little smidgen for tomorrow morning's breakfast. What do you reckon? 70-30? Because I've got muesli for tomorrow's breakfast as well. I think just a nice bite of sausage. Get some protein in the morning. So the water is now boiling, which is perfect. Well, I'm looking forward to this. Half of that seasoning now. Just going to put the lid on. And in 3 or 4 minutes, that'll be good to go.
Let's drop them bits of sausage in so they get warmed through. And then, no, I lost a bit of sausage. It cannot be done. It's covered in willow ash, but we rub it off clean. We get it in the boiling water. No way there's that sausage getting lost. Or if anything, it will help prevent indigestion. A bit of ash. So we're going to sprinkle the rest of that seasoning on.
That is glorious. That is so good. That is such a lovely cup of noodles. Sure as hell makes you appreciate it a lot more. They're super hot, super tasty, and I am really comfortable. I'm worn out though, definitely worn out after today. This is going to reinvigorate me. I'm probably going to KO after this as well. So tired. I'm going to try and get up a little bit earlier to try and make the most out of tomorrow. And the early morning might actually bring some more opportunity in terms of game. hot those are. Ooh. Oh yes. Cheers guys. That was absolutely spectacular. I've literally devoured that. Well, it wouldn't take much, would it? But that really hit the spot, and yeah, it's put me in a bit of a food coma. So I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. So now it's time to get this fire going, and although this is willow and that's not going to go until the morning, it's going to give me a huge boost of morale. So I'll get a few of these thicker bits on there, and yeah, get sunk into the evening, I think. So it's about time I wash my hands again. I've washed them a few times, and I've been using some of my homemade soap. I've just kept it in a bit of foil, which isn't the best, but I just got it quickly before I went out the door. I almost forgot. So I'm just gonna quickly use that while I explain what it is. Basically, it's a lard based soap, handmade by myself, and these are available on my store, either my Square store or my Fourth Wall, which is available through YouTube, or on my website and all my kind of links. It definitely does a really good job, and it's very nourishing, and it's natural as well, which is the most important thing. So there's no phthalates or endocrine disruption going on from this stuff. Hygiene's one of those things when you're outdoors. It's really important, because you can make yourself ill quite quickly, especially if you're dealing with game, or, you know, laying like I have been where game are. So it's important you do keep on top of hygiene and give yourself a good clean every now and again. And there we are, nice clean hands, and that just makes the world of difference, honestly. Keep a little block of that for tomorrow, but that would just take the edge off, and that's the last bit of food for me now, until my little bit of sausage in the morning and tiny bit of muesli. But hopefully the snares will have something, and I might actually go check just very quietly at night now before I go to bed. Just have a little check over of the snares to make sure that there's nothing in there that the fox is going to get. Well, good morning. Oh, it's definitely cosy. It's windy as well, so the hammock's kind of moving up and down, which is nice. Hopefully there's something in the snares. If not, hopefully there's some activity. It's good and early, so we might have something. We're going to get up in a few. Right, so I'm all dressed now. I'm just going to put my little waist belt on so I can collect my snares. Hopefully there's some prey in there and I managed to catch a rabbit, so fingers crossed. But obviously I need to take them down this morning as well, so I'll be packing them away. I'll take the rifle with me just in case, and yeah, wish me luck. That should keep me going. This one's also undisturbed. As is this one, unfortunately. thought it slipped a little bit. Well, that's definitely a shame, and it's sad to see that 2 of those had slipped, but it's just the nature of it. Josh Feared Woods actually gave me a really good tip of putting some elastic on the leaders of these snares so that it helps snatch and just grab at the last minute, which is a really good tip, so I'll be doing that in the future. But it's really promising to see that one of them had definitely slipped and the other one looks like it had, so yeah, just a bit unfortunate really. Let's hope that the homemade and final snare pays off.
Unfortunately nothing in here either. So that's the snares accounted for. And yeah, another hungry morning. Hello fella. You're gorgeous. Considering the time of year, like I've said before, I've seen quite a lot of activity and quite a few opportunities that were just not quite right, but that's the way it goes with an air rifle. But you know, it shows that it's been a hard winter. There's not many prey animals around. This is when there is definitely going to be the least of any opportunity after a hard winter and just before spring. So yeah, let's get in under from this rain. Tell you what, it's nice to be in under this tarp. I'm glad it's up. It's always annoying when the rain comes in like that. That would definitely lay the animals up as well. But such is life. And it's been a fantastic trip. On reflection, maybe next time I bring more snares and then just distribute them far more evenly around this area. But that's what this trip intended to be. It was definitely getting to know the lay of the land, which is an important thing, and giving it a good go, which I think I have done. So I'm looking forward to seeing if we can get even a pigeon today, and if not, I'm happy with that. So I know some of you may thinking, well, you have cheated, you've eaten. I have. I did say I was bringing in minimal food, and it has been minimal food. Probably not even 1,000 calories there. So for 3 days, I think that's alright going. And it definitely has given me a massive respect for food where I knew where it came from obviously, but it's given me a massive respect for just how much energy you consume and how hard it is to replenish that when out in the wild. So yeah, very thankful to the landowner for allowing me to do this. And I'm going to dig into that muesli now.
Normally if I had cereal, I'd probably put milk powder with it. You can get whole milk powder online nowadays, and it makes for an easy addition to a dry cereal, so you can just add water. Cheers. You don't realise how happy half a cup of cereal can make you. The rain last night put the fire out nicely so I can spread those ashes. I'll miss this place, it's been a really nice home. Well, I'm just going to relax in my hammock for the last time, I think. I probably will get this down and the shelter, because there's a lot of rain coming in around, well, just after midday, so I want to be out before that, which is a shame because I did want to carry on and see if I can get anything else. So what I'm going to do, because I've got a little bit of time before then, is, like I said, just relax here for 5 or 10 minutes, then probably pack my hammock away into my bag and leave the roof up just in case any rain does come. It protects my gear, and if not, then at least it dries it out. And then I'm going to go for another little walk, see if I can find any wood pigeon, any rabbit, even if it's just for insight and knowledge this time round. I think that's important.
So you can see just from that, my sleep kit takes up pretty much this whole bag. So if I was doing a trip where I was walking in a longer distance, and maybe next time I'll do a lightweight setup. I just wanted to come here on the first time and enjoy it. It was going to be cold, so I knew I wanted to be nice and warm. And I've thoroughly enjoyed it actually. It's not too heavy, considering I haven't got much other gear. So basically, sleeping bag, hammock, and then my other stuff just lays on the top. There's not much to it. So very, very happy with how I stayed. And of course, the little bits of food that I did have are all gone now. So that's one little bit of weight gone.
I usually put my chopping board down the back, wrapped in my mat, which gives it some nice back support and really firms the pack up. And then can put things like my tool roll laid down over the top. Lay things like this over here, and of course my canteen and stuff can go back in the front pocket as well. I'm just going to give that a quick wipe off.
I'm on my last little hunt now with the air rifle before I go. There's a lot of rain coming in. I can already feel it in the air. So hopefully the tarp gets to dry out before I pack it away. And yeah, when I get back, it'll be time to say goodbye to this spot.
Time to clear this fire away, which I'm just going to scatter nice and far and wide, all that really fine ash, which will help fertilise this ground as well.
But there we are guys, the rain has just come in as expected. I'm all packed away. So this time obviously we didn't get anything, but that's just how it goes sometimes, and I've learned a hell of a lot. I've learned the area, I've learned what quarries here, and I've seen a good amount for the time of year, so I'm very happy. I'm definitely hungry, so I'm gonna head back now, get a good feed in me, and get this video edited. So until then, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.
Like I said, thank you so much for watching. This has given me a massive insight into, you know, hunting, catching and cooking, living reliably off your own steam. So I could definitely go for longer. It's just unfortunate I've got to call it quits today. But there were some good opportunities. The weather's come in, which would definitely now make it harder and make it more reliant on snares. So yeah, I can't wait to keep practicing here and keep doing more things like this. So again, thank you so much for watching. If you do want to check out any of my live streams when I'm doing stuff like this, they're available on Twitch and YouTube as well. And until then, stay safe. I'll see you soon.